This method of surveying is quite different to the previous one. So it's called plane table radial survey. Table, I think, is just because imagine a table is placed in the middle of the block of land. Radiate or radial means to come out from the middle. So out from the middle to each corner. So this is a triangular block. X, W, X, Y. This represents where the middle, the table would go. It's not the exact middle, but any sort of central location would be fine. And from there, these angles are calculated. So the angle between the corner W and the corner X. So from the centre, measure the angles out. And likewise, around here, we've got 125 as the angle between X, O, and Y. Then there's just one more angle that's not, you're not given the value of, but you're able to calculate it because you know that all the angles at a point add to 360 degrees. So that's what part A asked you to do, to find the size of WOY. WOY traces out this angle here. Now, WOY would simply be 360 take off the 141 and the 125, and that gives you 94 degrees. Now, the reason they've asked you to calculate that angle in there is because they go on to ask you to find the area of the triangle. So it's now area. Remember the formula for area? Triangle WOY. WOY. So it's this triangle here. And we've got the length of two sides, and now we've got the size of the angle between them. So we use our formula half AB sine C, and the two sides are 66 and 57, and sine of the angle we've just found, and you get this 1876.4, and you're asked to the nearest square metre, so you can round that off. Now, C asks you to calculate the perimeter of the triangular field. I'm only going to do one side because the process required to find the other two sides is exactly the same as this process. So you could see that the perimeter is from WX and then add on X to Y and Y to back to W. Now they're all sides in a non-right angle triangle where the other two sides are given and the angle, one angle is given, and it's the angle opposite this side. For example, WX is opposite angle 141. So it's possible to find the length of WX using the cosine rule in the format the side opposite the angle that we know. C squared is A squared plus B squared minus 2AB cos C. So C is the square root of that, and the length of the two sides in this triangle are both 66. They don't actually look equal, but the diagram's obviously not drawn to scale. And we do that calculation and you get 124.4, and I think if I just pull that across a bit, you can see it goes on for 286768. The question actually says find the total perimeter correct to 2 sig figs. I wouldn't round, and I suggest you don't round this answer to 2 sig figs because that's introducing too much error. Certainly I'm down to 4 sig figs, and that would be adequate. You could round to 4, knowing that when you find the length of the sides of the other two sides, following exactly the same process as this cosine rule, that you would round them also initially maybe to 4 sig figs, add all three together, then finally round it to 2 sig figs. I'm going to stop the video there and do the last surveying type in another video.